I guess what I'm getting at, Fiona, and your answer is perfect, but do you think that the American public should have known sooner before, a whistleblower came forward from the CIA and alerted the forces that be about his concern about a potential crime in action from the top of the White House? Do you think that the American people should have known sooner from people like you and others that the republic was in danger? I mean, in reporting for my own work, I learned there were many Fiona Hills, right, who were all clutching together to try to provide this protective wall. But should there have been a way for you to and others to communicate that earlier?
Well, in terms of the phone call, because I'm sort of thinking about the sequencing of this. So I had actually left the National Security Council the week or so before the phone call. So I wasn't actually privy to it until you and everybody else was, when the transcript was released and put in the paper. And that really, I think, crystallized what had been happening on the Ukraine front, for many months. Now, I myself only learned about some of the information that helped me put the pieces together in real time, both during the closed door depositions, when the line of questioning made it very clear that all kinds of things were going on behind the scenes, when I looked at the depositions of my other colleagues from the government, and when I heard all of the testimony. So I think we were all learning in real time, myself and many others included, about all of these different parts of a story that we didn't have all of the pieces to pull together. So in a way, it was kind of a political version of 9/11, when you remember all the intelligence agencies had little bits of information, but there wasn't really a kind of a way of putting it all together until the disaster happened. And I think that's kind of a problem of our system, because nobody has complete information. In fact, people like yourself, Carol, and other investigative journalists probably know more than some of the actors themselves inside of the government, because you're talking to so many other people, and we're not communicating particularly well among ourselves. So I think absolutely we need to have much more transparency. There needs to be a way of the complaints and other concerns rising up through the system, so it doesn't take a brave whistleblower to have to kind of come forward of having pieced it together. I certainly went up all of the channels of concerns. I talked to Ambassador Bolton, on many occasions, his predecessor, General McMaster, about concerns on other issues, because it wasn't just Ukraine where we were concerned. It's just taken a lot of time for all of that information to get out there. But I think the first problem is about the nature of the presidency itself. We need to find a system for making sure that we don't elect people who are counterintelligence risks in the sense, or domestic political risks, in the sense that we don't know enough about their backgrounds. I, as a public servant, and anybody else, all the people who are being held up in Congress now for, having their positions, filled, all the ambassadors and assistant secretaries, they have to go through a really, deep background check, heavy scrutiny, every aspect of their lives and their financial matters and, their family ties. We don't do that for our presidents. That's absolutely absurd. It's absurd. And I just like to kind of put it out. There's a problem in the system, that somebody can be a candidate by not just concealing their tax returns, but having all of these other things that they can literally get away with. No wonder President Trump actually said that he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and get away with it, because as president, everyone is given a remarkable pass, and they can put their family members into key positions. They can put their cronies into key positions. They can name people to positions. There's something wrong with that fetishization of the presidency. And we need to fix that, because in other countries, there's a lot more scrutiny on their top leaders as well.